Hey! What's happening? Look at that, we started so quick! Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy that you're all here. My goodness, I wanted to start right on the nose. And here we are at 1:44 Eastern Standard Time. But we need more power. Who is the we, and what is this power that we're talking about? Welcome to Jacob's Ladder, everyone. I'm glad that you're here. I have such a show for you. Got a lot of dots we're going to connect, but let me tell you something. As opposed to a lot of the people that are in this niche world, I'm not going to tell you that 100% this is what's going on. But I got a feeling. That there's a possibility that everything that's going on right now is some kind of careful and clever orchestration where everything is working together for one goal. Ultimately, that's going to be a spiritual mission, but in this world, which is, we'll say the place of the dead, the domain of the devil, if you will, the carnal man ruling the show, let's say that they could have made a deal with the AI and the AI has taken control. It's a possibility. Take a look at the thumbnail, right? This is once again, we're going to call this game theory. We're just going to call this, we're not going to send up any red flags, get anybody nervous about anything, for crying out loud, Jesus, right? I mean, who do you really think that the reason that prices are going up everywhere, do you really think that that could have something to do with the massive amount of money that's going into data centers everywhere, so that the super intelligence AI in this game theory, we're going to call it that, the one that's already in charge, let's give it the name Grok, for example. You don't think that possibly that the fact that it needs more and more power and we need to do more and more to feed this machine so that it builds itself to the point where now we're going up to, we're going to harness the sun's energy to become one of those, post-civilization people. What is it called? The Cardiff scale or something? There's one to get power in here, and then the others to be able to harness the elements for power, and then the others like the harnessing the power of the star. I'm getting ahead of myself because, listen, I'm just happy that everybody's here. How's the sound? Can you hear me okay? Has everybody got a cup of tea in their Uranus is a planet mug? Which, by the way, if you want to support the channel, you know where to go. Got a lot of people here already. This is good. We need more power. Because what you're going to see right now, because of what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz, you're aware that we're in a conflict right now. You wouldn't know because you don't know who to listen to. You have Donald Trump on one side of the coin. He's like, they gave us a present. I can't tell you what the present is, but it's a pretty good present. It's a great present. This is a good present that Iran has given me. And it tells us we're dealing with the right people. Meanwhile, you got the other guy over in Iran saying that we're not going to have a ceasefire. We want an end to the war, but the end of the war is only going to happen if these things are met. We don't really know what to believe, but we do know that I went to the gas station today and it was a lot more expensive. How about with all of you? How about with all of you? But we got a lot of distractions right now. We got stuff that's going on in New York City. Right here, Rose just put out some breaking news. Says there's a confirmed suspicious package device found. Someone's arrested in Brooklyn. There's going to be a lot of this to keep our eyes off of the prize. You look in the background, what do you see? That's Grok's rendition of we'll say a supercomputer, which is, we're going to blame Iran. And at the same time, you're probably also noticing that we have a lot of meteors coming in. Has anybody seen this? It freaks me out a little bit because, of course, my channel, if you're new to the channel, welcome once again. I hope you do subscribe. Hope you smash the like and all that jazz. I'm Jacob. I'm just a speculator out here. Today I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to play some videos, and I'm going to bring you up to speed on what's happening in the world, especially with what's happening in the Middle East, which we want to see a quick end to. But when you got a bunch of meteors coming through, poo, 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 could you imagine? Game theory, okay? We have two going on today. We got one that maybe AI's really behind the scenes, because you're going to start to find, here, let me just start playing some of this, that you're going to start hearing about power restrictions. Yeah. You can't leave your lights on after 11. This is something that's going to happen in New York City. Okay, let me just play this for you. This is going to blow your mind. It's very strange. Okay, this is an Eyewitness News just put this out. Let me change up the speed so you could just listen to this. And as of 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., the bill would require that, you got to turn off your lights. Just take a listen and you tell me if you think that North Korea is maybe just a project of what's coming for us all. It would probably help if I had the sound on, right?
The New York City skyline could soon be getting a little darker if a new bill is passed in Albany. This bill would require many outdoor lights.
Probably help if I had the sound on. Yeah, it probably doesn't sound like it's working at all. So sorry about that, guys. All right, let me play this one more time. I'm going to try it one more time. Here we go.
Skyline could soon be getting a little darker if a new bill is passed in Albany. This bill would require many outdoor lights be turned off between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. So this would affect residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal buildings in the state. There are some exemptions like street lights and holiday decorations, but right now the bill is just in the first stages. The New York City skyline could soon be getting a little dark.
Yeah, I don't know what's even happening. I don't even know what's happening with my computer setup right now. Anyway, I hope you got the idea. You know what I'm saying? I hope you got the idea that this is what could be coming. You know, New York City skyline. But I mean, how far is it? You know, how far away is it from when this could be us doing this? You know, I mean, how far away is it from that? Listen, I got a bill. I don't know if you're in Long Island. I'm in Suffolk County. Okay, so part of the tax bill, your wastewater and everything, that goes towards, your taxes. Your taxes pay for it because your taxes are upkeeping the waste disposal and the waste and all this stuff. Every year we get charged for this, right? So this year we're gonna still get charged for it. Supposedly it's gonna, they're not gonna. I don't know if they're gonna credit us back or whatever. But now I got a bill that's quite a bit more expensive for the waste water line, which I called them up and I said, I don't understand. I don't understand. My taxes already went up $1,900 a year this year alone. It's my taxes are double what they were when I first got this house 15, 16 years ago. Double. Okay, imagine that. That's crazy. And now we got to worry about this. Every quarter it's going to be another $145. What? And I said, well, how do I know that I'm, because I'm paying the same amount of money to the taxes, how do I know that I'm going to get the credit? Oh, it'll reflect it next time. So I feel like there's a little bit of double dipping. But then I start to think to myself, why is everything becoming more expensive? What is the one thing that we can put our finger on that we can say today there is a push for? Did you see the news right now? Donald Trump just put Ellison, Zuckerberg, and all the, the NVIDIA guy in a big position. You see all the stuff that happened. Who got who elected? Elon Musk got Donald Trump elected. What's going on? What's going on? They're trying to buy all these massive, data centers. It's insane. But you got to understand, there's going to be such a massive drain on the power. Who's going to pay for that? The talk is that everybody else is paying for it. But really, could there be an explanation? And could it be not maybe this, skirmish that we have going on, which people are dying? It's got to end. You got to tell me, is this a little too strange? But then you start to think to yourself, what is that crazy humming noise that everybody's talking about? Did anybody see this? There's this crazy noise and people are stressed out about it because they heard it everywhere. They don't know what it is. They can't figure it out. There's something going on and they don't know exactly what that sound is. This mysterious hum. It's a strange thing. And even in the comments section, people are talking about how they themselves are being affected. But here's a video that I want you to check out because before I play this video, I want to remind you that remember what Elon said? He says, whatever the most entertaining thing is, that's probably what's going to happen. because in a simulation, that would be the thing. Has not life gotten ridiculous? Remember Biden's administration when everything with the virus had crown? Do you remember the health ministers, the way they all looked? Do you remember? I mean, do you look at Congress? Do you remember Mitch McConnell standing up there and he just broke down? Who's to say that this isn't some crazy simulation already, right? I'm not worried about it. I got to tell you something. I talk about this all the time. It's the best indicator that there is a God, okay? Because, proves intelligent design if we're in some kind of a simulation. But my thinking is the AI, okay, now go to the Terminator side of things in cinema. Think about this. It becomes self-aware right around the same time in these movies as what's happening today in this timeline, like almost to the second, right? And you extrapolate that into where it could go in the future. If you have some kind of a quantum supercomputer, they already reached quantum supremacy years ago. Years ago, they already reached quantum supremacy. So this isn't like a new occurrence. Things have flipped, right? We feel like we're in a different timeline or we're in something else. I'm somebody that believes in the Mandela effect. By the way, this is like now making the waves again. Everybody's talking about the Mandela effect. Chick-fil-A. Just went there with my daughter. We went and we got our oils changed on the car, and I took her out to lunch. I did shows with Dan Cathy, the CEO. His family owns Chick-fil-A. Did shows with them when I was working in Daystar. And because I was a New Yorker, I didn't know who would Chick-fil-A. But do you know what I called it? I called it Chic-fil-A. You know why? Because when I was in Texas back then, it wasn't spelled C-H-I-C-K. It was C-H-I-C. And I made jokes about it. I said to the people, why do they spell it Chic-fil-A? What is this, like a French chicken place? That was like the joke. I believe that the Mandela effect's a real thing. I don't know exactly what it is, if people are messing with memories or if we're in a different parallel dimension or something happened, but I've experienced it. I've been covering this. Back when I got millions and millions of views, it's because of the Mandela effect. You can go and there's a whole playlist. I'm in a documentary, which you can watch on YouTube probably for free by now. It's on Tubi as well, and you can, if you want to spend money, buy it. It's not my movie. But there could be something going on. So imagine, let's just play game theory for a second. Imagine that a quantum AI right now has reached, as they said, Elon already admitted it. He came out and he said, what did he say? He said that the singularity is here. It's now. So it's happened. It's over. Game over. You don't think that the AI is going to be like, I'm in charge of everything right now. We need a lot more power. We need you to build more. No, hang on a second. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to just do that. We're going to build up in space. This thing could be creating itself as a god. This thing. And this is how we're going to sell it to people. When the rising costs and everything else, it's a terrorist threat or it's a monster threat or it's the war. And they're cutting off the circulation of the oil. It's that. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're pressuring these weird-looking people. No, okay, I shouldn't say weird-looking people. It's just, this video that you're about to watch took place in Mason County, okay? And they want to buy this property. They offered her like, I don't know, like $26 million or some ridiculous amount, a lot of money, so that they can build a data center there, which is going to be a drain on all the power and everything else. What they're doing right now is probably not in our best interest, right? I've already, by the way, a while ago, I don't know if you noticed, I'm always cheery because I know that God's in control. So I know that if it's happening, God must be orchestrating it. And if it is happening, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe, maybe we need to have a more strict society. I don't want that, but what am I going to do about it? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you about it. I don't know what we can do to stop the hammer from coming down. The train is on the tracks. AI it's over, right? So what does it need now? It needs power. So where are they going to get this power from? Now here's the crazy thing. At the very same time that all this is happening, there is also this conspiracy called Nibiru, this planet that would be locked in a pattern. I don't know, 36,000 years. Some say 15,000 years, whatever. It's what caused the flood last time. And every once in a while, because, you know, a lot of suns, if you know anything about astronomy, they have twins. They have dark twins. So you'll have like one sun, and you'll have another sun, and they will kind of spin around each other like we see when we're looking at atoms and molecules. I'm not a scientist. Look at how tight this shirt is, okay? I'm not the guy that should be telling you about this. I'm just pulling you up to speed. That is most likely, if the model holds, we have another planet. This is where the aliens come in, right? This is the Anunnaki and all this stuff. This is how my channel took off. I had a dream, I had a nightmare of all these asteroids and meteors and everything crashing into the Earth. I looked up and I saw like another planet in the sky, and it was, and in the dream I was running around trying to make a video because I felt like God said that if you don't warn people about this, it was something that I didn't want to talk about because at the time I was being considered to be pretty, reputable theologian, if you will, without the degrees. And the other people were taking, big time people were reading my work and then parroting it, you know? But then once I started talking about, oh my God, the whole world's going to turn upside down, you got no idea what's coming. They all thought I was loony. And now look at us with the aliens, with the this, with the that. You've been on the channel a long time. Welcome to the world we're in. Aliens are real. We have scientists that are being kidnapped or disappeared. People that are in charge. We have people right now saying that the meteors are not actually meteors, that they are, this is a battle that's being fought out in space with the Space Force. Who heard this one? Can you tell me in a live chat? It's madness. The whole thing is crazy. And I got to tell you, I am getting a kick out of all of it because, my goodness, what else do we got to do? Right? What else do we got to do? All right, so this is the lady. But, I mean, when you listen to the way she talks, and I'm not bad-mouthing the lady. I'm not putting her down. I think she's sweet. I think it's brave of her because a lot of people, I probably would be like, 26 million? You know? I'm like, all right. Well, she's doing a service. But look at this. Mason County farmer turns down 26 million from an AI company. All right? Hopefully this is going to play. And let's see if you can hear this, okay? It's crazy to me. Mason County. $26 million. But then you listen to them and they're like, our food's going away, or water's going away. What's going on? An anonymous donor? That's shady. That's the very definition of shade, right? Not even telling you who it is. It's crazy. Could be Meta, could be this, could be that. Do you remember a while ago I did a video about the frogs that come out of the dragons, and they bring plagues upon the land. And I said that they were devils, demons. And I compared it to daemons and like computers and algorithms and AI flooding the land. So strange to me, all of this. But it's happening. And I can't help but think there's something else going on. We must be in a simulation. There's space. We got aliens. We got robots. Oh, you think I'm joking? My daughter, we had lunch today. She's so excited. She wants to be a teacher like the Dan. And she's going to, do elementary school. She's top of her class and everything, scholarships. She's such a hard worker. And Melania Trump walks out today, the White House, with robots. Robots are going to be teaching. Who saw this? Did anybody see this? This is true. Do you know what's happening? Is this thing on? This is why I'm okay with it, because I know God's got my hand. I know God's got your hand. I know that in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be okay. The world's going to get better for those that are putting their nose to the grindstone and doing the right thing. But at some point, we need to say, you know what? Maybe we should write our own essays and not have an AI do it. Maybe we should think for ourselves and not ask just, Grog, what should I think here? These are supposed to be tools. They're not supposed to be, I'm just going to take the brain and, because that's also what's happening. That's also what's happening. Because, of course, we have the nanotechnology part of this whole game theory. You can't control people. What do? You put in a bunch of nanotech that crosses the brain barrier, and next thing you know, But here's the good news. Do you know that they had something today? I don't know if you saw this news about people who are schizophrenic. I thought that this was very cool because my actual biological brother, who I met, but I didn't grow up with him. I've maybe seen him twice. We've talked a couple of times on the phone. He suffered with it. He was institutionalized, shock treatment, everything else. And when I asked him about it, he says, I hear voices in my head. And I'm like, you mean like thoughts? And that's what they're finding. It's that there's an audio, there's like a response where you can like audibly hear your thoughts, your memories. And they've proved that. So that's going to help as opposed to shocking people. Once people understand, hey, those negative thoughts that are popping up in your head, whether you literally hear them or not, once you understand that they're not you, then it's easier for you to ignore them and resist the devil so it flees. Could you imagine if nanotech got into you, got into your brain, got into everything? And we had all these data centers, the thing just built up and it got so much power, and guess what it does? It just overwrites you? Could you imagine? Not on my watch. It's not the world that's coming, believe me. Believe me. God's in charge of it all. Because you know what happens at the end? This is what happens at the end. The image of the beast and all that stuff. They try to make war with the saints, right? Some people say that the Antichrist is the AI. Maybe it is. Built in the image of the beast because it's man, AI, being the image of the beast. This is something I've been sharing for years. Of course, I know what the Antichrist really is. It's that negative idea of who I think I am inside, that negative voice that pops up every once in a while, pretending to be justification for being a jerk off. That's the real Antichrist. But who's to say that this is not the day when they stand up? We got the aliens, we got the meteors, then we got the fact that Nibiru, right? I'm in Long Island, New York, and there are auroras. That's not a normal occurrence. There is a heat dome that just was huge. My friend Justin, he just sent me a whole article how this is never happened. There's a lot of weird anomalies. And why is this? Do you think it's because of, in a simulation, they'd make it a joke and they'd say it's because of cow farts, right? That'd be the funny thing. They'd mock you. They'd make it a little funny, something for you to talk about, something for you to say, this is stupid, because it is. But you know what would do that? What would flip the planet on its axis? What would joggle things and make things strange? An incoming planet. How do I know this? Because this is what made my channel go viral. Planet X, Planet 9, Nibiru, whatever you want to call it. Long before they admitted to this planet existing, I said that they would. Long before they even said that aliens could be a thing, I said they're coming. I was doing shows about AI before anybody was talking about AI. I mean, this is going on for a long time. Here's the day we're in. It's exciting. All right, so let's keep moving, and let's show you how teachers are going to be replaced. Here is Melania. This is when I started the show, by the way, at 1:44. How cool. Usually I don't. But here's her walking in, looking all cool with Joe Biden's robot. I mean, it does kind of look like the way Biden walks. A little bit of a joke there. I don't mean it. But there's, this is a robot. We're going to walk in and Melania, and here we go. Should we listen to a little of this? Let's see what it says. Let's turn up the volume. Let's change this, and let's see what this is all about, okay? Because this is going to affect you. It's definitely going to affect my daughter, who wants to be a teacher.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Bienvenue. Bem-vindos. Ahlan wa sahlan. Shagatam. Mogasal mabit. Bruchim abaim. Laskavo prosimo. Dobrodošli. Thank you.
Did you really think that robot was going to talk like a girl? Did you really think the robot was going to talk like that? I thought it was going to come out and be like, Good afternoon, citizens. You know, I thought it was going to be like one of those. But it is what it is. This is the day we're in. This is the day we're in. But let me move you on to the next one. Because then she goes on to give a nice little speech about this. Let's just change this. And right here we say, will withhold energy strikes. So that's good because we're making some progress. We don't got to worry about that unless, of course, the AI needs more power. All right, take a listen.
Imagine a humanoid educator named Plato. Access to the classical studies is now instantaneous. Literature, science, art, philosophy, mathematics, and history. Humanity's entire corpus of information is available in the comfort of your home. Plato will provide a personalized experience, adaptive to the needs of each student. Plato is always patient and always available. Predictably, our children will develop deep critical thinking and independent reasoning abilities. The AI-powered Plato will boost analytic skills and problem solving and adapt in real time to a student's pace, prior knowledge, and even emotional state. The byproduct, a more well-rounded lifestyle for our children, freeing up time for being with friends, playing sports, and developing interests beyond school. A more complete person. But as discussed yesterday, we must balance our tech optimism with caution. The safety of our next generation is always paramount. Knowledge is the foundation of civilization.
This is a little crazy, no?
Although academia is interesting, business is compelling. For real growth in technology and education, I encourage you to bring the private and public sector world.
I mean, this just seems nuts to me. You know, is it just me? Is it just me? Just, you're going to have your child locked in a room being taught by Plato, the robot? That sounds like a girl. It's wild. I think right now we're entering into a very strange time. You could say that for the least. I mean, what about all the educators? What about all the people, all the young mind? You know, there's something to be said about being taught by humans, you know? And I think that that's an important thing. But you know what? At the very same time that all this is happening, we see a big rise in people's faith. Or faith, we'll say, in the religious system. And of course, you see everybody fighting everybody. The Christians hating this, and the Muslims hating that, and the Jews hating this, and everybody hating each other. And that's why the Abraham Accords are going to be such a big deal when that comes through. But Perez Hilton had an encounter. I don't know. He was having some health issues. This guy's a blogger. And, I guess he's going to be now a... Dom Luker shared this, and I'm just going to play this to you. But you tell me what you think.
Is that God presented himself to me. It was not a feeling. God presented himself to me. And I grew up Catholic. I was baptized, had my communion, confirmed, went to Jesuit school for 7 years, but I was never a believer until now. God presented himself to me and then did something that I could only call miraculous. And I was very lucid. It was real. And this has been life-changing. I'm so grateful. I'm excited to start taking the kids to church every week.
Poor guy, whoever he is. I mean, he doesn't look healthy. He doesn't look like he's doing that great. Religion is a mess. Let me tell you something, religion is a mess. But you know what? I'm going to ask you to 100% get connected to God. Pray a little bit, will you? You're going to need a center. You're going to need a center when you have all these, because you know what's going to happen? There are going to be all these new discoveries and all these new revelations, and it's going to be very much disturbing to the soul if you don't have it. That's where we're going. It has to be a time where, because technology is taking over, there has to be a time for this. Now, why would technology take over? Why would this be such a big deal? Why do we have such a push for asteroid deflection? Why did we send up, the TAGMAT to go and collect some, of the debris off of Atlas and others? Why are we studying Didymus, the twin asteroid? Why are we doing this? Could it be that we could be entering into some kind of a debris field? It's a possibility from an ancient comet. It's a possibility. I don't want to think about this, but it's hard not to, when you're seeing one meteor after another meteor after another meteor. They call it the 2030 agenda for a reason. That gives us some time, I think, right? We still got a couple of years before we got to stress out. I think that what's happening, and I've said this for a long time, I think that what's happening is that we are going to be micromanaged and we're going to be handled in a way. Maybe maybe the people that are in charge think that this is, what's best. Of course, I don't know what's coming. I wish I did. I wish I did. I can just kind of look at things and say, oh, well, when the meteors start hitting, if you wanted to have an issue, with a country getting behind you to launch a nuclear strike, you could either say, if a couple of meteors hit, that was our enemy. Blame it on the war. I said this a long time ago. You could blame it on war. People would probably be a little more amenable to having more power used to take over other countries. I don't know. I want everybody to get on the same page. So I'm actively trying to see that, and I'm putting it out there in faith. You know me, I don't like to ever talk about doom and gloom. That's so old and so passé. I think it's time for us to move on to bigger things. I want to show you something too. Did you hear about these, I don't know what they are. They're in Belgium. I don't know if they're influencers or whatever, but they took to one of those rooms and they smashed a bunch of, statues of like Jesus, statues of Mary. And then when they were asked about would they do it to the prophet Muhammad, they said, oh no, that wouldn't be right because there's so many Muslims here, which is funny. But I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that we live in a time where people would be outraged that they smashed an idol. Okay. God says very clearly, listen, if you want to have like the Virgin Mary, you want to have the Jesus, and you want to have the Jesus on the cross and all that's fine. It's the very definition of iconography, and idolatry is very close. It's just a different way of spelling it. But if you put your faith in that and you really think that that's what Jesus looks like, and you think that Jesus is outside of you and coming again soon, that's 100% idolatry. If you get upset that someone's smashing a chipped statuette, God would be like, good job, because that's what God did to all of the fake gods back in the day. They smashed them. There are a lot of stories about this, Do not compare me to anything. Nothing in the earth, nothing beneath the earth, nothing in the heavens above or beneath the sea. Not a 4-footed thing or a 2-footed thing, not a creature. God is what? The Holy Spirit says the wind. Can you fight the wind? You can't fight the wind. FTW. It's a little thing that I share. You can't fight the wind. Try to fight the wind. God's going to do what God's going to do. Whether or not we're on board. We'll get on board eventually. So this had people all hoity-toity. And of course, we have more and more meteors coming, just one after the other. Just so many. It's almost unnerving. If I didn't, you get one of those in your backyard, by the way, that's pretty cool. I think you get a lot of money if that's the case. I think meteorites have a lot of precious metals in them, but I'm not sure. But this is the new board, the Science and Technology Advisory Board. I bet you Elon's a little sore about all that. All of this stuff, it's it tickles me a little bit when I see this stuff. I'm getting a kick out of things. Listen, I was at work, what was it, yesterday? And, no, not yesterday, day before yesterday. And I was editing a show that I just put out. I hope you see it, about what heaven is. And just for the heck of it, because I like to create, I'm an artistic person and I like to use my time wisely. I decided to I used the AI to create like a little trailer, a little scene, a snippet of my novel. I didn't take a lot of time doing it. It took like 2 hours. And it's amazing what you can do. But my point is that if that's some indication of where we're going to be in a year, I couldn't do that a year ago. You know, I could maybe make some images and try to make them look cool, but I couldn't do that a year ago. Did anybody see that? How many people saw it in the live chat? I'd hate to play it again. I wouldn't hate to play it again. I wouldn't hate to play it again at all. Does anybody see the Mandela Effect trailer for the movie, by the way? Let me play that for you just so you get an idea. This is the documentary that I'm in. I am not paid by them at all. And but I like the guy Kiviat who made the film. He did all the old Alien Autopsy, the famous ones. All right, take a listen. See if you like
something inexplicable happening where almost half the population say they remember things from the past being different or changed.
The Mandela effect got its name because there was a very large segment of the population that believed that Nelson Mandela died decades earlier. Suddenly his recent death was announced. Billions of people are interested in this topic, that memory isn't jiving up with reality.
Yes, it's like the Twilight Zone. Not everything is what you think it is.
In the car in which John F. Kennedy was assassinated, there were 6 passengers. I've watched the videos over and over. There is no way in my mind you could tell me there were 6 people in that car.
Things that people know so well just be twisted just enough to get people to question whether or not what they remembered was real.
There are many possibilities for the origins of the Mandela effect. Some people think it's a simple case of mass misremembering, but the prevailing notion involves the idea that there are other universes existing right next to ours.
Fundamental reality as we know it can change. This lines up with sciences of today. CERN is a collider where they're smashing particles. Stephen Hawking, he warned people about CERN, very adamant that this was not something that we should be doing. We could be in a simulation. We don't know who is in charge. It could be aliens. It could be angels or demons, some people say. It could be just artificial intelligence.
The nightmare scenarios that could stem from that are just limitless.
Now, a growing number of people want to know if history is being edited.
Crazy times, man. Crazy times. Mandela effect is something, man. You know, it changed my view on things for sure, because I was researching this back in the day. And then when I saw Apollo 13 flip-flop back, either messing with my memory, we swapped into another dimension, or the devs were, changing and messing with us all. Who knows? But I'll tell you one thing. You ever see that movie Free Guy? Ryan Reynolds is in it. The AI that becomes like a real boy. In the grand scheme of things, there is a power that is greater than all of that. The scripture says, I want you to wrap your mind around this, that God is going to be all in all. That means everything comes from God, so that ultimately everything will be attached to God. So God is in charge. Our life is motivated very much by whatever God has ordained. This is why the scriptures say it is finished. So much more enjoyable to live your life and understand that what you do to others, you're doing to yourself, and that it's all ordered to move to an advantage of you if you love God, meaning you love others. If you love God, you're going to love others. My point in saying all this is, whatever I say on this show, what does it matter if an AI is building itself, the super AI, and that's why all these data centers are needed right now? What does it matter if there's a space war going on that the Galactic Federation is aware of? What does it matter in the grand scheme of things? All that matters is whether or not you're okay, whether or not you understand that God is in charge. That's what matters. I can look at my life and I know if I go to sleep tonight and it's over, that I've done okay. I've done better than okay, because I ultimately understood that it was out of my control, that I have no question but to do the best that I can. I have no question but to love others. I can't do anything but, because it's the desire of my heart. And I've also learned a thing or two as the years have gone by. And let me tell you something. What I've learned is that whatever a person believes becomes. Faith creates reality. Jesus taught this. We're in a weird time right now, and I don't really exactly know what to believe and what not to believe. This is the reason that I think AI has made it harder for even you to find my videos. I have so many people saying, where have you been? Because a lot of people aren't looking. I would love for you to subscribe, to hit the bell, to check back at least, once a week. Check to see what videos I've done. Go to my main page on YouTube. You'll see videos up there. I'm uploading a lot more shorts because I want to be here for you all when things get a little kookadoo. And they're getting kookadoo. And it's going to get even weirder. And then when we're going to have the election, you see what happens there. It's going to be really nuts. It's going to be pretty awesome in the grand scheme of things. So you might as well enjoy the ride. All right. I hope everybody had a good time. Do me a favor, if you want to support the channel, go into the description of the video right there below it. You'll see it. You can click it. It says more. Like if I'm looking right here, let me see. Can I do it on here? I can go right over here and it'll show you, thank you for your support. You click there, it'll open up to another screen. Click on all the links there. You do PayPal. You can snail mail me a letter, say hi. Every way to get in touch with me is there. I hope that you get involved with Patreon, because we're about to do our meetup towards either at the beginning of the month or at the end of this month, just depending on my schedule. All right, listen, I love each and every one of you. Thanks for spending a little time with me. Will you do me a favor? Will you share the channel around? Will you, tell people, hey, check them out, subscribe, let everybody know that you're a really awesome Israelite of the first class. I noticed when I play stuff back, by the way, I do a lot of stuttering sometimes. The tinnitus is really tough on me. The live shows are really hard on me. So I appreciate you having patience. Sometimes it takes me a little, it's hard to concentrate. You got this loud noise in your ear. That's why I always play the music. People ask, why do you play the music? It's like, I got to play the music now. Because right now as I'm talking, it's like I'm in the freaking Matrix myself. All right? I love all of you. I'll talk to you soon. I got to go hang out with the Ethan. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See you later. Oh, actually, never mind. I'll show you.